bow to the observation that my Lord Justice Mandokhel made yesterday, that this issue, this case as a whole on the merits in the main, as well as the CM, the bench and those of us on this side are not rivals. This is a point that your Lordship made yesterday. We are all on the same side. Ultimately, your Lordships may hold, and that's your Lordship's power and prerogative to do, that whatever we have said on this side is wrong, and that the constitutional amendment is valid, and we'll bow to that. But right now, there is a concern being expressed by a lot of people that there is something wrong with it. And
Before going to that point, so first of all, we have to...
Yes. So starting point, whatever is being submitted, my Lord, whatever is being submitted at the bar has to be taken in that spirit, that we are all here because we feel that there is something wrong with this amendment and it has undermined the institution.
Amendment से पहले first of all,
जी.
determine who will hear this petition. बस.
मैं उस पे ही आ रहा हूँ, मैं उसी पे आ रहा हूँ, बट मैं कह रहा हूँ उस पे भी submissions because overlap कर जाएंगी, because एक concern constantly bench की तरफ से आया है कि there is 191A in the field and that maybe operates as a bar in the formation or referral of the matter to the full court. That has to be...
Counsel, prior to this, read your prayer. You've sought for adjudication of the main case before a full court of this,
My Lord,
of the Supreme Court. Now define the term full court.
my Lord,
Then come to
yes.
Article 191.
My Lord, I have been here for more than 2 weeks. I have heard all your Lordship's questions. Allow me to answer them. This is a question that your Lordship has repeatedly posed, and I will answer it. Let me say, for me, there are 3 questions that arise.
Answer were divergent,
Ji?
not the same answer by all the consuls.
My Lord, for me, that's reflective of the nature of legal questions. Legal questions are not like mathematical questions. In mathematics, 2 plus 2 will always be 4. But in legal questions have different legal answers, and there are genuine differences of opinion. Your Lordship held that civilians can be court-martialed under the Constitution. My Lord Justice Mandokhel and Justice Afghan held differently. Both opinions are there in the law, and that's a genuine difference of opinion. So that the same is true for lawyers also, my Lord. But it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying that each lawyer should argue on the same lines of the other lawyer, but said that there is divergence.
My Lord, and there is a reason for the divergence, and I will try and explain that. I will try and explain that. So 3 questions that arise, my Lord. Number 1, whether a full court can be convened, and I agree with a statement made by one of my friends earlier.
थोड़ा सा question rephrase कर दो. देखिए, हम सिर्फ ये कहना चाह रहे हैं कि क्या बेंच ख्वाहिशात पे बनेगी या कानून के मुताबिक?
कानून के मुताबिक, कानून के मुताबिक.
वो कानून या
मैं Sir, my Lord, I recall a statement made by Justice Shahid Bilal in one of the hearings that my Lord said that I am a man of procedure. My Lord, if I can just modify that, I am a man of precedent. I've been brought up in a common law environment. I operate on the basis of precedent.
By procedure, I meant the procedural law.
Yes, I know.
You know me very well. I've been a trial lawyer.
Yes.
That's why I use the connotation procedure. That is the procedural law.
I know. My Lord, मैं आपकी स्टेटमेंट आपकी इजाजत से थोड़ी सी मॉडिफाई करके अपने पे लगा रहा हूँ कि I am a man of precedent. So whatever I will say is based on precedent. I will show that there is precedent on everything and every question that your Lordships are faced with. And I will try and answer all those questions based on precedent. So the first question is whether a full court can be convened. I agree, full court is never constituted. It exists. It merely has to be convened. So that's the first question. And my answer, which I will elaborate, is that notwithstanding Article 191A, a full court can be convened in this matter. Number 1. The second question is, by whom? My Lord, that the answer to that,
आप कहने के ये मैं समझूं कि Supreme Court is there already.
The full court is there.
It is not defined. The full court is not defined in the Constitution, but this is the precedent.
Well, it is defined in Article 176. Chief Justice plus all And that is how it has been applied in precedents, and that principle has then been refined in some cases. I'll come to those. The second question is, who can convene the full court in this case? My lord, my submission is twofold. Number one, the decision of the committee constituted under the Practice and Procedure Act of 2023, the decision dated 31st of October is a valid, binding, existing decision and must be implemented. If that is done, then the full court in this context would mean the full court as it existed on 31st of October 2024. That's my primary submission.
Which committee decision?
The Practice and Procedure Committee decision.
Constituted under section?
Section 2 of the Practice and Procedure Act 2023. Well, I will come to the details. Why I am saying it's a valid, binding, existing decision, I will explain that. I'm just formulating my point right now. But in the alternative, in case your lordships and your ladyships feel that that decision cannot be enforced or ought not be enforced, then in the alternative, my submission is that the full court should be convened through a judicial order by this honorable bench. So that's question number 2. Question number 3, how many judges should sit on it? Well, again, the answer to this question depends on the answer to question number 2. If this honorable bench is inclined to enforce the decision of the 31st of October 2024, then the judges who were there on that date should sit on the full court. But if this court feels that that decision cannot be enforced, then in the alternative, my submission is
That decision be enforced by this bench.
by this bench, and because it's a decision taken by a valid body, it should just be your lord.
Can we pass any specific order, or simply we say, since already the matter has been decided by the committee, fixed before the bench, so therefore we cannot hit it?
That's procedural flexibility. We are dealing with an Article 184(3) petition. We should not be bogged down by procedural technicalities. Any procedure, if your lordships and your ladyships pass an order, whatever, it's not for me to say how the order will be framed. That's the court's prerogative. But if an order is passed, nobody can defy that order. The ministerial steps, the administrative steps required to implement that order will be taken by the registry. This is what the Supreme Court rules direct. So that's not an issue. But I will show what sort of orders were passed in the past. And there is no set pattern. There were various orders. And I will explain that with reference to case law. So on the third question, how many judges to sit? If the committee decision of 31st October is implemented, is enforced, then all judges who were there on that date will sit. Otherwise, in the alternative, all 24 judges, as they exist today, should sit. With one caveat. I think, and this is something I'll explain at the end also, for the judges who were appointed after the 26th Amendment and by following the procedure laid down in the 26th Amendment, which is under challenge in these cases, for them it will be extremely awkward to sit in judgment over their own appointment. However, I say there is no legal bar.
Same is the position of the honorable.
मैं आ रहा हूं उस पे भी, my lord. I say there is no legal bar on those judges also sitting. The Akram Sheikh case, PLD 89 Supreme Court says that they can sit on the bench, even when the question is one of their own appointment. However, as I said, it will be awkward and embarrassing for them to be a part of a decision which concerns their own appointment. Therefore, my suggestion in that case be drawing on the line that my Lord Justice Mandokhil indicated in the recent contempt judgment, Nazar Abbas. Your Lordship invoked the concept of esprit de corps, committee among judges, and your Lordship indicated that maybe matters would not have escalated if, there had been some informal discussion. So maybe the full court can have an informal discussion following the cue that my lord gave, so to decide whether those judges would want to sit or not. So rather than passing an order that they should sit and then letting them decide whether to recuse or not, maybe that can be preempted by a prior informal discussion. So that's my formulation on the three questions.
And we sit in that bench, we 8.
Well,
8 member of this bench can sit in that full court prior to, which was prior.
absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely.
We are, चलो हम उसको बेनिफिशियरी की बात नहीं करते हैं, उस 26th अमेंडमेंट के जरिए हमें एक एडेड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दी गई है.
बिल्कुल दी गई है.
तो जो 6-7 जजेस आए हैं, उनको भी हाई कोर्ट से उठाकर एक एडेड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी दी गई. तो उनका और हम में क्या फर्क है?
नहीं, मैं तो कह रहा हूँ कि फर्क नहीं है. अगर आप कमेटी का डिसीजन जो 31 अक्टूबर का है उसको नहीं इम्प्लीमेंट करते तो फिर कोई इशू नहीं है.
उसमें ये नहीं लिखा कि कौन बने, उसमें सिंपल लिखा है फुल कोर्ट.
बिल्कुल. मैं तो इसीलिए कह रहा हूँ सर, मेरे नजदीक फिर सेकंड
आप
ऑप्शन
इस
यही
वक्त
है.
कमेटी के फैसले के ऊपर आर्ग्यू करेंगे या अदर देन?
मैं दोनों पे करूंगा.
हाँ.
मैं दोनों पे करूंगा.
क्योंकि फैसला
जी,
जो
जी.
कमेटी का है पहले फिर वो कर लीजिए, तो उसकी क्या आउटकम थी, whether that committee was under their vested jurisdiction to pass any such order or not, that is to be seen.
I will make detailed
Simply
submissions.
saying that a committee has passed the order, it is binding on all. The binding effect has to be seen from the constitution
My lord,
and the law
but-
itself.
मैं सर मेरी जो अपना स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ आर्ग्यूमेंट्स है उसमें आई वुड लाइक टू स्टार्ट विद द फंडामेंटल क्वेश्चन वेदर द 26th amendment itself can be taken into account at this stage or not, because that's the hurdle that your lordship has repeatedly said, and that's understandable. I mean, it's there, it's on the statute book.
Which portion you want to commence? आप वो शुरू कर दीजिए ना.
The first question is, the first issue is whether the full court can be convened in this matter. And my answer is yes. And now I'm going to elaborate on that.
Independently or under the orders of that committee which you are referring to?
Both.
वो तो नहीं है ना, पहले आप दोनों को अलग
Sir,
अलग
I can make arguments in the alternative.
Yes.
So my primary argument is based on the committee decision. But if your lordships were to even to disregard that,
You have two grounds. One
Yes.
on the basis of the decision
Committee.
of the committee, and the second
And-
ground is that we have power to.
yes. So those are my arguments in the alternative. My lord, when I say that the convening of a full court in this matter or in any other matter is not ousted by Article 191A, I say that on two bases. Number one is what I refer to, at least in my notes, your lordship and your ladyships may think of a better expression, is the logical or common sense ground. And the second is the interpretative ground. So the first ground is that logic and common sense require that those provisions not be taken into account. But even if your lordships and your ladyships take Article 191A,
Suspension of those provisions.
Ji,
Will that not mean
no,
suspension of?
not at all, not at all. If those provisions are to, and that's one reason I did not file an application for suspension with my petition. The operation of a law can't be suspended.
Cannot be suspended.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Actually, you are saying
No, I'm not. There is a distinction which your lordship will appreciate. If I say that those provisions be suspended, then your lordships can't hear any case. Then your lordships can't function. Then your lordships can't hear the super tax case also.
Exactly.
Your lordships are hearing all the other cases. I appeared before your lordships in many cases. That's not a question of suspension. I'm not asking for suspension. What I'm saying is that when the question is the validity of those very provisions itself, then in that context, to that extent, those provisions cannot be taken into account. Well, the impugned order, the impugned legislative instrument cannot be its own justification.
You mean to say we can look into these provisions in the light of previous
Yes,
section.
yes.
उनको मद्देनजर रखते हुए देखें whether these are in consonance with the other provision of the constitution.
ये तो merits की बात है.
No. It is not. And that's, as I said, that's the intellectually most challenging point. The moment your lordship say, and your lordship has said that 191A is on the statute book and